really a good example of the inclusivity of the tech community. He has a very exciting career transition from being a newspaper and book deliveryman to the world of data science. His diverse experience spans from industries such as fintech, marketing, information technology, and e-commerce. To kalian. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Maya Ishida. She is a solution area specialist at Microsoft with a long list of experience. When I say long list, it is a long list. Her experience in community building is impressive. Maya is the organizer and leader of PyLady Tokyo, which she has involved for the past 10 years, and I personally would like to know more about the PyLady's program that she organized. Sounds very interesting. And she is also one of the recipients of the Global Outstanding PyLady Award. Now, I would like to invite Leonora Sison on stage. She is an excellent quality system analyst with a demonstrated history of working in the computer software industry. She manages and mentors a diverse team of manual testers and automations engineers from different countries, testing end-to-end business workflows from client registrations to computational acceptance. I can't believe I can really read that much. Alright, not yet, continue. Okay, she ensures that the team is able to deliver even in a fast-paced environment, and she's currently the QA manager at Buildlist, a customer finance and buy now pay later solution. Leonora. Last but not least, she is a professional software developer for more than 15 years and now works as a software consultant and manager for startups. Arito, with extensive experience in software architecture and solution, and she is currently the master engineer of MVP Studio at NUS Enterprise, where she conceptualizes, consults, and builds prototypes and MVPs. Everybody, if you do have any questions, we all have the questions later on. You can direct the questions to any of the panelists. Now let's get started. Are you guys ready? I think that we need a mic for the panelists. Oh, there. I think it's there. All right. Just a little bit of context before I hang out in questions. We're talking about like fostering diversity and inclusion, and talking about story and steps for a better Python community over here. But what is diversity and what is inclusion? Diversity means that we have different people coming from different backgrounds. Just look at here, we have people dressing in different posture. We have different gender, we have people coming from different countries, we have people where their first language is different. My first language is Mandarin, Japanese, Indian Tamil, or Filipino Tagalog, and maybe Hakka or Mandarin or English, right? So we are very diversified. But being diversified doesn't mean inclusion by default. There's a lot of things that we need to do, just like what Joe mentioned just now. There's a lot of things that we need to do to make people feel be accepted into community, feel comfortable, and feel accessible to the community. So that is the context for our discussion today. And we would like to see what kind of story our panelists have here, and what kind of steps they have taken, and how we can learn from each other and collaborate for a better community over here. Now, my first question for everybody here, for all the panelists here is, when is the moment you realize that the community that you belong to is diversified, and you know that I think that that I need to do more to make my community member feel included. Yeah, maybe I'll start with over here.
Okay, sure. So actually, in my case, at the beginning, during the recruitment process, I already had an idea that the company is quite diverse, since I was talking to different people from different countries with different nationalities.
Thank you. Probably we'll just go with Kalyan. Yeah.
So my aha moment came from a community meetup where I realized that people from different backgrounds are coming together. I think which is great. I think seats are filling. Okay, that's fine. Meetup, but okay. Then what I realized is okay. Diversity means okay, group different people from group are which is fine. But what I realized is that some people are less scared in such instances. So what I realized is we should create a safest space or inclusive space for everyone. To give you some specific example, I noticed that some women professionals and which from non-technical backgrounds always hesitate to speak in events. So in order to fulfill this gap, what we have to make sure that we should create a more inclusive space so that everybody can open up their voices and share their experiences.
Thank you. Maya?
Yeah, so several kinds of diversity issues. But today I am on minority side, so especially the gender side. So it was when I felt that I wanted a place where I could talk about technologies in different from the usual conference or usual communities. So in my case, I wanted a friend who could talk about technology, like a culture. So I want to that another. I have to need to create another community for the students. So like a culture for tech conference communities or something like that. So not why. So just each community has its own color, and I felt that there were no need for everyone to have some atmosphere. Well, because each person has their own ability that situation there. So this is my own principle.
Thank you. So let's hear from Arun.
So for me, just to share something a bit more personal. So it's like for me, I started out in this industry as a programmer, right? It's like throughout my career, even when I first started out, all the way till now, I'm the only female developer in the team. And how does that make me feel if you are in that situation? You know that literally it's like you really have to fight for your place. Your voice is not heard. And over time, I realized that there's something that we can do. There's something that we dare to listen. Actually, the first step to really step out of being just a minority, right, or just being a victim of the situation is to listen and figure out, okay, why is this situation that way? Understand the situation and basically grow from there. And yeah, from there, I get to really figure out there's actually not just that one directly. When I step out into the to this career, I was female. I started my career in Australia, so I was female, short, Asian, young. So it really had everything going wrong for me, but it was fun.
Thank you. Personal story always struck a chord with people, and just to share a little bit of mine, it's not a bit different from you. I have a very different background. When I just started as a programmer, most of my colleagues were women, and I don't feel like not included in the field. So what I don't feel that women was minority in the tech industry for me, because I started with more women in my company that I worked for at the time than women, right? The point that I want to bring up here is like, everybody has a different time in your life that like you think that like, I need more inclusion. I think that I would like to see diversity. So everybody would have a different point that like, they stuck to realize that that is the reason why that like, I asked the first question. When do you think that you start to realize that we do need to do something? And thank you everybody for sharing that. Yes, Ellie, you have something to add on?
So yeah, so that phenomena I find very interesting. So this actually points out how important leaders are in this community. The leaders are the one that actually dictate how that the team is formed. Usually this phenomena I find very, very common. If your software manager is female, the team is all female. The software manager is a guy, the team is all guys. And that works across. So literally diversity is not just for men or inclusion. It's not just for females, it's both ways, it acts both ways. So even people just have to really be conscious that you have bias, you have to be conscious of the bias you have also.
Anybody of you would like to add on anything before I move on? Yeah, I think Fabian. Yeah.
I forgot to add one point, so it's quite long. So when I was reading my data science team, right, so there was a one in my team, and she was a fresher that team. And she was very dedicated to speak with the team and also with the intelligence. So in order to, of course, it's a usual case for a lot of women as well, so when they get into a team or they manage their name, right? So most of the time people hesitate to speak actually to be featured because comparatively with men, right? So they often hesitate that whether should I open my voice or not, whether if I can express everything very frankly or not. So there is some sort of like barrier. But if you can create an environment in such a way that every voice is heard, whether it's a man or a woman. Right, so that's how people feel more included, right? And they come up with the council that we want to share with the manager or team or so what personally I do from my side is I never treat the need on a gender basis. So the project that we should treat everyone equally so that whether it can be a male or a female, so that everybody feels safe and share their experiences of something that it can be a positive or negative. So everything can come on very timely.
Thank you. I think continue on the point that you mentioned. This is to everybody. You're talking about like treat everybody equally. We are talking about the diversity in terms of like geographical origin, culture, language, and even experience wise, right? And in your terms, maybe in different work roles. How do you think is the best way to treat everybody equally? What that terms treating everybody equally means to you and how you practice that? Luana?
For us, we always make sure during meetings that everyone is given the opportunity to speak, that everyone is heard, and we are open-minded with any ideas, that there are no wrong opinion, and ideas that can be discussed during the meetings. So that's it.
So again, to add, one of the points which I also added in my slides in yesterday's talk, saying that during any of the PyCon events, so PyCon events are very much a volunteer-driven conference, right? So a lot of all passionate people come together So during this process, what happens is you work with a very different set of people. Sometimes, you always see some disagreements happen on certain opinions. So in order to avoid and treat everyone equally, right? So it's always important that we should listen to everyone's point, understand the perspectives, and try to make it a common conclusion where everyone agrees. And you also feel that, okay, my opinion is also valued and respected, right? So that's how you can take forward the implementation.
Thank you. What about Maya and Arlene? Like, anyone of you can go first.
Yeah, totally agree. So, I think that also not close your minds. So just open your mind. So you have to need to learn all accept or all receive other people's comments. So after thinking, so why they say that one, thinking that. So we just thinking continue.
I do agree in the sense where, especially in meetings as well. So this is one of the things I do have to learn through life is to how to listen and be encouraging while you are listening to other people's opinions. So that part being encouraging is sometimes can be very how should I say, very positive for anybody in the room, right? That if you're not just saying, okay, everybody's just having the chance to speak is one, having the chance to speak further, right? To actually make a point further, giving some more explanations about what's the point that the person is trying to convey, and also help with their self.
Thank you. Before I continue, right, I just want to check, right? Is everybody having okay at the back, or is it clear? It's a bit soft for me over here, just so that I just want to make sure everybody is okay. Okay, all right, okay. I think that hopefully the speaker is heading the side, so it's
All right, so I'll try to speak closer to the mic.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you. Now I would like to direct the question to a specific person here because of your background or your experiences, right? Now I just want to go back to Irene first. And you are like working in sort of like an academic background, but then it's more looking into startups. So you do a lot of guidance, coaches, and all this. So I think especially in this kind of situations, measuring the success, and especially everybody could have coming from different background experiences is important. How you go about that? Like to make sure everybody have it's not left behind and given a chance to success.
Okay, so this is kind of like you're correct in a way that yes, because it's in an academic environment, yes, we get actually a lot of students from a very diverse background because of the nature of NUS. We actually get a lot of foreign students, but one thing I realized that also NUS is not very diverse in the sense that actually all these students are top students. Yeah, actually they already start off with that smart level, that is not the same as certain startups I tend to find are more common in the in the industry that we have. So there is a level of difference even just from there that is not found within the academia that I'm in. So even if I just step out and just go to a different college, I might find things very different as well. So in that sense, but because of that, it also allows me to observe the different situations and the different ways everybody approach technology. It's not just among our community, but even the non-programmers out there. Because right now, even no matter what field you are in, you actually need to touch on software somehow, right? So how they approach and how we need to deal with it. So it's really much a very case-by-case basis. So this is literally where you get, once you open up yourself and really understand that every single case is different, every single person is different, and you need to treat every single person differently to be able to be respectful to an individual. And then you realize that, hey, this is actually, it gets easier every time you do it.
Thank you. I think that is you bring up or you trigger a very important point. I think is about diversity. Just now you mentioned that most of the students in NSB they're already like top of the top kind of students. and you went out and you see a different way of solving the problem. Now, the questions to you, building on this, is does it mean diversity is very important, and this is why we want to welcome diversity?
Yes, so diversity is definitely the most important thing. So this is one of the things I really point out and really emphasize with all my students. Seriously, diversity is literally the top. Why? Because diversity is the basis of innovation. So if you see a group, and that's always the case, you see even a group, even within their own small little community, they still come together. You see certain startups made out of all Chinese PRC students, and you can see startups made out of all Indian students. And literally first step, or even startups with just all Chinese Singaporeans, who's like, okay, first or even just one Chinese Singaporean or one Chinese from China. Literally tell them, this, you are not a diverse group. First step you need to do is find somebody to join your group who is not from your group. So just by doing that, really, sometimes they don't realize that they are not diverse enough. Most of them, they don't realize they have to really be forced to say that, okay, you are actually very similar. Just by the fact that, okay, it doesn't matter that you have one American and one Indian, guys, you are not diverse enough. Literally just there. You are not diverse enough, or even if you are both girls, whether one Indian girl, one Chinese girl together starting a startup, right there, you're not diverse enough. So yeah, so you have pointed out that yes, diversity is very important. It's literally, if you start a journey, like you do a startup, is a journey, right? Any journey you start a new project is a new journey. If your project does not have diversity in the group, literally you're stuck within your group, and you're not venturing out of your comfort zone.
All right, thank you. I think that you're talking about startups, right? I would like to tackle the questions that to Leona and Leona next. Is like when you're leading a team, right? So correct me if I'm wrong, but I would think that like in your team, sometimes in a project or in a case that you need to solve, right? It might not be only involved with team member coming from your divisions. There could be somebody else from other divisions that you need to involve. And that also have different culture per se from different divisions. In this kind of situations, like what do you came across difficulties in terms of this, and how you mitigate the issue?
Yes, of course, because actually this is quite tricky for us because I am managing a team that works with different group, and this group are comprised of different roles with from different countries and different nationalities. So actually, our day-to-day challenge is really the language barrier. Okay, but we always make sure that we have an understanding at the end of the day. So we use tools that helps us. So the first one is the meeting recordings, and we always make sure that all of the discussions are documented. And another thing, another thing is the managing the time zone, because I have different people working on a different time zone since they are from different countries, as I mentioned. What they did on this, we were able to resolve this actually by strengthening our documentation. So we always make sure all of the daily tasks are clear to everyone. What are the expectations? So what needs to be delivered by the end of the day, and that there are no clarification needed as much as possible. So we can say zero to minimal.
Thank you. Documentation is something that like you were hearing about here. I believe people from the audience might agree with Leonora here.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, I think that Irene is also agree. I think anybody in the crowd agrees. I know that I definitely was going to put up my hand. Anybody agree that documentation is very important? Yes, right. Yes.
Just to re-emphasize the point, same issue because of the I get a team of interns, right? They actually come in on different timings because they are part-time and different timings. And the one thing that they actually found is we took a long time, actually years, before they get into the habit of putting their stand-ups on Slack. So it really that, and they do it religiously. Every time they finish whichever work session, they make sure that they put what they have done, what they plan to do in their next session within the stand-up Slack group. And that improved a lot of communications.
All right, thank you. Now, we have been talking about like documentation, startup, something more serious. I would like to go to something more lighthearted. I would like to ask Maya about like, why make you stay in a community for so long? And the biggest challenge you have and how you overcome it. I'm sure that like, you have overcome some challenges because you stay in the community for so long. Yeah, Maya.
So why I continue to then join the committee? Just fun. So just it. So yeah, the committee is a people, so not only the technology. So my friends are here, and I want to meet the new people and new technology. Talk about their here. So I take action, and I do it 10 years first. So. Just just one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just it. So for big challenge, big problem. So no have the biggest, not the biggest, but so very often meet the problem. So that we want to run to some big technologies, but we don't have a speaker in Taiwanese. And of course, like in Japanese. So also we had English speakers, but don't have a Japanese speakers. So we started to use style event for their group studies. So this style is the no speaker, so just we hear the place. So and we created 3 or 4 people group in. So we started the keyword subject research or trying out or create a presentation. And after we presented our result. So this station is not cannot done alone, but so together we can done. It's a very interesting station. So we often publish the events.
Cool, thank you. It feels like so much fun that like I should
Yes.
join one of your activities soon. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Kalian, this question is to you, and I do have a little bit of context to let everybody know before I hand over the questions. Now, according to I think I'll think about this maybe it's all back here, I'm not sure. Hello? All right. Hello. All right. Okay, according to STAT, 13.61% of the software developers are from India, second to only to the US with about like 18%, and more than 30% of the software developers in India are women, which is not very low. It's still like much lesser than men. So, in these both situations, you are both the majority considered because comparing the rest of the world, India have more software developer and you are being a male developer, are considered the majority in the all male developer community in India. Now, just now we mentioned that like being the majority, diversity doesn't mean inclusion. For yourself in this situation, being both the majority, do you feel like being inclusivity or being included? And any other, if you are not, any other steps like you think like you are taking to overcome this, or you think that like you are, but the rest is not? What are the steps that you are taking or with your community to? I know that you have mentioned that treat everybody equally and that, and maybe you have other pointers to share with us.
Yeah. So firstly, I agree that I'm part of that right, me do, yeah, definitely. And I also feel that inclusivity definitely goes beyond numbers. Right, for instance, from my journey from a normal volunteer share as showed great that okay, everything looks good on the team, oh, it's fine, but I somehow yet still feel that something is still missing with exactly. So to give you some realistic example, right? So in many of our earlier Python or recent Python events, we always, yeah, especially on the panel discussions, right? We often always invite people from various types of backgrounds. Okay, and also we also really put a conscious efforts to make the discussions more prominent, where we try to invite the voices which are often overlooked. So that's how we try to fill that gap, right? It's not that we are bringing time to do that, but there are certain voices which are often overlooked. So which is where we are trying to refine those tools from our side.
All right, thank you. Now, let me summarize a little bit what we have been hearing here. I think for a community to be sustaining for a long time and be vibrant and beneficial for everybody. First, I think a few things that I have heard from is treat everybody equally, let everybody have at least have chance to speak, to be heard, right? That's first. Secondly is documentation is very important. And thirdly is have fun, right? So these three is what I have been hearing throughout in one way or another from every one of you. Building on this, right? You're welcome to add on other points that you think, oh, I have to add this point here, but building on these three things that I've been hearing from everybody. What especially of those, how exactly this can be applied to PyCon community? I know that no PyCon community around the world has been practicing this as well. Okay, we have the diversity as well and inclusion group from the PSF, and we always talking that respect the COC, and then we also let everybody have a chance to talk. And I think that we are a bunch of fun people, are we? Yes.
Yes.
This doesn't sound like fun. Are we a bunch of fun people over here?
Yes.
Thank you. But then I think that probably if that is something that you want to add on about this, especially for the PyCon community, because we are talking here that how we can share our story and our success to build a better PyCon community. I mean, I see you that you're eager to speak.
Okay, for my opinion, in my opinion, I think especially the PyCon community, because we are such a unique community compared to any other groups, to be honest, in the industry, that we, especially our respect for our COC, this is actually rarely seen, right? Just for that one, right? And the fact of that, if you actually want to be a positive member in the Python community, be that. So this is a strange community in the sense that actually the individual, every single person in the community is what contributes to the Python community. So you are the one, so you can exercise basically the positive impact in your group. So every single person in that group, right, be the one to listen out, to encourage anybody who is just being too timid, right? Just pick up and say that once you exercise that that respect for other people's idea within your group, then you can be open. In just by doing that, you are being inclusive, right? once you start just being inclusive within your own circle, you will start open up and then hey, you realize that this is not just my own circle anymore, it's bigger than that.
Thank you. Coming from that, I think that like our COC is a very good example of good documentations. And coming from you, I think that like you bring out a very good point is like, look, we have the documentations, but implement it, go by it is very important. We know that like we need to have fun, but everybody being participative is very important. We know that like, we need to have give everybody a chance to speak, but everybody would just put up a hand to speak is also very important. So it goes both ways. We have the things in hand, and we need participation. So to get more diversity and get everybody to learn from that as well. Okay, now I'm gonna have these questions for everybody, and I will go by turn. First, I would like to pose it to Leonora. Now, you are coming, at least here today, you're representing, coming from the industry. We have like identified that like, our conversation, what is the ingredient for more diversity and inclusions, community. But what do you think, what kind of collaborations between the community, Python community especially, and in the, from the industry, what kind of collaborations we can have to even bring this to a greater height, even more diversified and inclusions?
In my opinion, the key point here is really the remote work, actually, because if you will see in a community that in a diverse community, everyone is coming from different countries, so it makes us more flexible. Yeah, so you can be here in the country or you can be in another continent. So for example, in our company, we are working with people from different continents as well. So we have people working for us from another country. So it makes us more flexible. So you can be part of us whenever you are in this world, and you can put any suggestion. We are open with any suggestion here for us, and I know that all of us have different strengths, so that makes us more diverse and inclusive.
Thank you. I think that like Billy's has been quite consistent with your whatever you have said since yesterday, to remote work and of everybody that I am not doing a participant for a year now, but it just brings up my memory about like what you have said. It has been very consistent with what you advocate for, and I do believe that like that would be a way for the industry to collaborate with the community. Thank you. Moving to Kalian, specifically referring to a geographical diversity here, not only to India, to as to APAC or as to Philippines, but how about to the rest of the world? What do you see that can be further collaborate to bring more diversity and more and bring all the PyCons around the world closer?
I think, firstly, if you, personally, what I'm noticing from last few years is if you look any PyCons, not only US or any country of the PyCons, I've been seeing speakers or even in fact volunteers coming from very diverse background, people not only within the country, people are coming from different countries to make the PyCons exercises, right? So just as Philippines, you see, we have a different set of people here, and there are also some people who are coming from different countries to make the conference. Right? So one of the things which I feel that we have a very diverse people coming from different regions, right, who are showing interest in making Python. So that is one of the great factors why Python or Python is a more inclusive people, right?
Okay, I think there is one very real life facts about like working or collaborate with PyCon or anybody community from India is visa issue, right? We were just talking about it, like that's something that we would face. So what do you think that how other PyCon can help you with getting visa to visit the countries, or if any Pythonista want to visit PyCon in India, what kind of process, through your experiences, could I help with the visa applications issue? I'm just taking example of how we can make things too easy for everybody coming from different regions. Like example.
I think visa issues are quite common for not different countries. For some countries it is it's hassle-free, and for some countries it's quite challenging. Especially if we talk about US visa, it's nightmare to get a US visa, right? It's not that easy. But someone from other countries who wants to come for PyCon India or PyCon event, so what we make sure that whatever the documentation that they require from us is we try to provide everything to them so that so it shouldn't be a problem for them to get a visa. So that's how I was there in 2022 for India. Right in Jessica was there. Keynote in 2023. So last year was there. Last week, Anthony Shaw was there in our 515 So we always try to do things upfront on the documentation part so that there shouldn't be any issues on the visa side. That is something we always take care of it. And in terms of yeah. And again, in terms of then also some other thought process going on for the people, right, who come from different countries to other country. They also feel that whether I am actually safe in this country or not. That is something also we also keep a tab on it so that we create the environment in such a way that they are very safe, they are very welcome.
All right, thank you. I think that all this sometimes technically things from different country is also something that we can preempt different people coming from the country you're coming to okay, this might be the visa things that we need to take care of all this. I think this is something aside from some more intangible element. There are some tangible element that is very real that we have to deal with as well for diversity group for inclusivity. All right, thank you. Move on to Maya. A little bit different. You can share with us how you what kind of collaborations with PyCon around the world that you are looking forward to have. And also that I would like to hear from you also that if you would like to learn from you about all those fun activities that you have done. Yeah. How we gonna learn from you or experience the same thing that you have organized?
Okay, so first, don't be shy. Yeah, it's important. So we mean that most collaborative English or English. So we assume. So first, we have to speak English base. But my target say no. So here that was Australian. So such as all days. So I use the AI translator now. AI helped me, so now, but so, what he said, so, okay, today, so, I use the translate for Japanese to English. So, we assume so English is the base, but, opposite side, not true. English speaker use their first speaker, okay. Japanese speaker use the first speaker, okay. So sometimes we change the opposite side. So it's a very collaboration or it's committee. It's a committee. So we help us our stations. So it's a global committee to help us. as usual. And so in the Japanese side, so we collaborate the city side in such as the Tokyo, Osaka, or Fukuoka, and another outside the Tokyo or city side. So we have to collaborate along the countryside people. We have to together and collaborate. And also over the world.
Thank you. Ari.
A related question. So if I want to speak at PyCon, Japan, whichever, or Tokyo, whatever, right? So what I need to do is actually get the AI to translate my script into Japanese and then apply for the.
Sure. Yes, you can use the translator and the AI. So of course, we help your translate and your share piece. So please copy them.
All right. Questions coming to you guys in the audience. Get your questions ready. And now to Ari. Any suggestions you have, or any collaboration from where you come from that you have, like how we can collaborate more with the PyCon community?
Okay, so I guess this is just an observation. I mean, I've been to various different conferences run by very different organizers around the world, I guess. And there is a lot of difference. So I've noticed that PyCon has a certain way of doing things, but especially in terms of diversity, though, I've seen conferences that are run slightly different way where they truly emphasize on diversity. So that's different. So one thing PyCon doesn't do is that we emphasize on diversity, but we don't try to emphasize on diversity. So these are actually not the same side of the coin exactly. So diversity is one thing. It's not the same as inclusivity, right? So if you emphasize inclusivity, you might actually need to let go a little bit on the diversity part. It's a little bit subtle, but it's there. So give an example is that I've been to certain conferences, how they emphasize on diversity is that they, in the different conferences in the different cities, what they do is they make sure that at least the speakers have a chance of joining the city work, basically understanding the local community. So right there is a different sense of, for us it's kind of like the opposite, like we do the workshops after the main conference, but then they do the little bit of a speaker before the conference itself. So it's the same thing, but in a slightly different manner.
Right, thank you. I think there are no different way of organizing things, but I think there is something that are good that for us to now look into and see if there is any. It could be bringing different result or anything. Thank you for panelists. Now let us get questions from the audience. Audience, yes, hi, Charles.
Yes, I would like to say that I really love the concept of planning this caravan because a lot of us feel that we are limited by whether we have enough Thai ladies in the proximity to start a Thai ladies event. So, but I have a question. Traveling around seems like it kind of requires some financial situation to be able to like go there, have the event there. So how do you overcome that barrier of being, able to organize an event that is at a place that you have to travel to?
I believe the questions for Maya.
Yeah, so first financial problem is no hard answer. So because so we help we are help for the JP associations. So they help our financial programs. Yeah, but no hard individual fault. So I'm sorry. But so second, so organize event, how to organize, how to gather the attendees. So this program, I do the let's together our knowledge and under the side what to create an event or what to create a community person. So we here the organize together organize so we still prosper like that. So yeah, we try to their communication continue. So not once time, but not one time. So they come 2 times, 5 times. Yeah, we keep it.
Thank you. Very, very thoughtful. Thank you. There's 2 more questions. I just before that, it's some rule I practice, right? If there's no questions from me or for people here, then I will have questions for you guys. So if you guys have questions, you better prepare to ask us questions rather than me go and ask you questions. Okay. Okay. Next, I think we have Iqbal here.
Good morning, folks. I'm happy to see a different set of panel talking about diversity and inclusion. I have a question. 2 questions really related. Right now we are seeing a pushback in diversity and inclusion, mostly because of quality reasons. Last year we also saw the unfortunate close down of women growth due to financial constraints. So there have been a trend or an unhealthy trend of diversity and inclusion within the tech community taking a step backwards. So for today, we've been hearing how we can actually take steps to make a better Python community by fostering diversity and inclusion. But I would like the panel to take us back to first principles. Now, can you tell us why is diversity and inclusion important in the first place? And if it's important, I hope it is, how can it better our community?
Hold on, Iqbal. You guys get the questions? I'm actually get the last bit of the questions. I did not really hear it clearly. If you don't mind to repeat, sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, but it's a bit soft. If you don't mind, maybe it's me my hearing.
So, why diversity and inclusion is important?
Yes. I can actually just walk down there. If the rest of the audience wants to ask a question, then I can just go down. Okay.
Can you just repeat the questions a bit? Sorry, I just don't want to get the questions wrong.
Okay, this is my question. Let's go back to first principles. Why is diversity and inclusion important?
Okay.
And hopefully it is, and if it is important, how can it improve our community?
Thank you. Any of the panelists would like to tackle that? Or Ari?
Yes, so diversity and inclusion is definitely important for sure. It is the first principles. Why? Because it is the basis of innovation. Without diversity, without inclusion, there is literally no innovation. You are stuck within your own group, you only build for your own, you don't build for anybody else. And we want to be building things for everybody. And we like to have diversity and inclusion. So, the what was your other question? Yeah. Okay, so yes, so literally, because of the tension of current state, right? So I find the way we deal with it is to treat a person as an individual, not based on their background, not based on where they are from or where they are at, right? Even from their location. Right, you can overcome these barriers, set up online meetings, whatever, right? You can literally, if there's an issue, if you have a problem, tell me your problem, I'll try to fix it, right? That's what we do, right? We solve problems.
Thank you. To add on to that a little bit, I think diversity is very important. For example, if we only have a majority of men, the product you build, right, you might only serve half of the world population. Why not serve all? It's better for your product anyway. So we have a little bit of time. I have one more person there. Your questions?
I have one
question. So I was wondering, with the rapid search of AI, currently rapidly search, do you think it do you think that it's diverse or it could have been better as a Python developer?
Are you directing the questions to any of the panelists here or anybody?
Anyone, all of you actually. Okay.
So I'm sure other panelists might have a different viewpoint.
Yeah, I think that like maybe one person can answer because in the essence of time.
Anyone can answer, sorry. Anyone can answer.
So, question correctly, what you're saying is, as a Python developer, how AI can make you a better.
I'm asking if, as a Python developer, do you think diversity is included in AI or it should have been better?
So just in essence of time. Okay. So you have to, as a Python developer, you have to be careful about AI in terms of diversity. AI is very, very biased. So that's one understanding.
Yeah, I think to add your question, if you clearly listen the first keyword which I was talking about AI and diversity inclusion, right? So we should be very much careful, especially on the personal data front, which he pointed out very good points, right? So yeah, AI is just a tool. It's not like everything that can do everything for us, right? So we should be very careful in terms of doing things with the AI, whether it could be from the personal front, whatever things are there. It's just a tool. It's just that slightly helping you to improve your work, but you cannot rely completely on AI in any aspects of it, including the diversity part as well. So, to be honest, I think without human intelligence, we have no one.
All right.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you, my panelists. Thank you for the audience for the questions. And I always believe that like panel discussion is not only have a few people here talk about a topic and forget about it. I think that like something that we are very important is take note of the discussions we have and then talk to organizer and work on it, and there will be continuity, and that would make our discussions more fruitful and valuable. And thank you everybody, and my control back to the MC.